Welcome back to the channel, guys. So this morning I got to see the guard dogs in action. I was sitting in the house and in the corner of my eye I could see something. I'm gonna play a little clip for you right here, then we'll talk about what happened. You notice how Leesky's going towards the deer and Cora's staying back with the herd. She's up there on that pile. She's hard to see, but oh, there they go. Look at this. Now, Cora will probably join Leesky. She's already, yeah, she's already taken off. So, I think they know the deer's not much of a threat because he never barked or nothing. But he did, he started stalking them and they noticed they were over there. And he just took off running real fast and ran them off. But he never barked one time. Oh, there's Cora back there behind the little hut. Coming to join Leesky. So, the deer don't come around often because they know the dogs are over there, but they do try to sneak sometimes. And I'll zoom in where the goats are right now. The goats are way over there on the other side of the field. You can barely see those black spots through the woods there. So anyways, it's another day being a livestock guardian dog. You can see they're smelling the scents where those deer were. So there you go, you've seen the deer. They were walking up, they jumped the fence over there by the beehive, you guys can see. You know, all the goats was way over there on the other side of the pasture, but the dogs picked up a whiff of their scent. And I was lucky to see it because this happens all the time, but usually I'm outside messing around or I don't have a camera available. But this time I caught the deer before the dogs did, and I grabbed the camera because I knew it was going to get exciting. And what's really cool about this is the dogs never barked one time. Now that is pretty cool, and we'll talk about that. I'm walking out here. I got a pocket full of treats here in my hoodie for these dogs. They're worth their weight in gold, guys. I'm telling you, if you live in the area like we do where it's very wooded, there's a lot of predators, and if you want to raise any kind of livestock and have babies, especially if you're raising cattle or anything bigger, you're gonna have to have some dogs to help guard them. Ain't that right? Where's Miss Cora at? I see Mr. Leesky. Where's Miss Cora? Oh, she's over there. She's got a bed made. Look at her. All right, let me get in here and we'll do a little interview with you guys, and we'll talk about what went down this morning. A little windy, so bear with us. A little windy, so bear with us. You smell them treats in my pocket, don't you? All right, guys, so deer. Most people, and I've covered this before in prior videos, so if you're an old subscriber, bear with me here. Here's Cora and Leesky. These are both our Anatolian Shepherds. Leesky's 2 years old, Cora is a year old, and he's a long-haired brindle Anatolian. She's a short-haired brindle Anatolian. and the goats are fixing to have babies. And I think that one with the yellow ear tag right there, she might be one of the first ones. I think she's already got she might have some scent on her or something, because Cora's smelling on her pretty good. So I think she's gonna get close. She's been kind of laying around and stuff. And then all the other goats are over here laying down. And everywhere you see these sticks, that is from these dogs. They're chewers. They like to gather all these sticks, and you can tell I just had a hay bale here not very long ago, and then these dogs go get all kinds of stuff and they just pile it up and they make a mess. Yeah, I see your pearly whites. You've been chewing on them sticks because your teeth are so white. That's the trick of having very white teeth. Oh yeah. Want your belly scratched. All right, I gotta finish my story. Okay, I gotta finish my story. So a lot of people wouldn't consider a deer any kind of predator or danger to these goats. But, you know, we welcome the wildlife here because we live among them. They can come and go as they want, but they do kind of pose a threat to our goats. They do that in a couple ways. They actually carry a parasite. I can't remember what the proper name is, but it transfers to the goats by the deer coming out here and going to the bathroom, leaving their droppings in the field along the grass. And there's a type of parasite that climbs up on a blade of grass, and when the goats eat it, the parasite actually gets in the goats, and it actually will go to their brain. The worms will go to their brain and cause all kinds of weird problems. So we don't want that. And the other thing that they do is they carry external parasites like lice, fleas, and ticks. So when they come around on our property where these goats run, they'll drop their ticks, and then it gets on the goats or the dogs. So we rather them just stay away, but you know, it is what it is. So I've got a piece of netting out here that blew out here from my berm pile somehow. I see someone found a ball or something that they got torn up. But everybody's just kind of sitting here, sleeping, doing their own thing. It is a windy day, but it is supposed to warm up today. So, like I said, I brought the dogs treats. I know some people that raise livestock guardian dogs, they don't want anything to do with their dogs. They just want to raise them, put them in there with the goats, and have them do their job. But we like to have relationships with our dogs, because if we get in here and we want to, if we need to help one of these mamas with the baby goat or something, or doctor one of these goats, we don't want the dogs to eat us up, because that's their job, is to protect them. Here you go, Cora. You want one? You want a bone, girl? These are good. You better eat it before Lisa does. There you go. I got a piece of bacon for you too. Here you go. Oh, dropped it. You want a piece of bacon? Here you go. You better eat it. Mr. Lisa's coming. Alright, Cora, you eat it and I'll go over here. So, like I said, this happens all the time, but a lot of times I don't have the camera on me or whatever, you know. You just never know when something like that's going to happen. Luckily, we have not had any coyote attacks. We have not had any coyotes get into this pen that I know of. It's been a little over a year. We only had Livestock at that time, and there was a coyote right there where that beehive was. And at that time, Livestock was the only livestock guardian dog out here, and he was barking and barking. And luckily I was home that morning, so I walked out on the back porch with my 308, and I was able to take care of that coyote. And that's the last time that a coyote was actually even trying to get into this fence that I know of, that I've actually seen. Now, a lot of times you're not going to see that stuff because these guys are sneaky, they're sly, but the dogs, they're always barking, they're always trying to keep stuff away, like bobcats and the coyotes. And I talked about this earlier, the dogs did not bark one time that I heard. I didn't hear it anyways, I haven't went back and watched the video yet, but the dogs have not, they did not bark one time at those deer. And you guys seen there was at least two, and there was another one behind the fence that was fixing to jump, but they went and kind of ruined their day real quick. They like to come in here and they like to forage on certain grasses and stuff, and as you can see, the grass and some of the weeds are starting to come up and get green. Things are starting to green up a little bit. That's a good thing. We won't have to feed hay much longer. But I I don't know if the dogs don't bark at the deer because they know the deer has never been an actual threat, like a physical threat to the goats. They don't attack the goats or anything. Every time I've seen a coyote or anything around, a stray dog, a bobcat around the fences, the dogs go absolutely crazy and bark and bark and bark and growl and chase. And this time they didn't bark at all, but they did. If you guys seen the video, Cora stayed back. There's the cool part. We caught it on video again of them working as a team. Cora stayed back between the threat and the goats. She was up there on the hill. She had a good vantage point. She could see everything. Livestock was the stalker. He was the one, he started kind of crawling a little bit, got close, and when he determined what it was, he went off, and he's fast. He's a fast boy. But they both love their goats. They're family with the goats, aren't you? You want another one? Here. Yeah, you're a good girl. You guys deserve it. You guys deserve it. Let's go give Livestock another one. I think he's still over there eating it. But when I tell you guys that dogs, these guard dogs are worth their weight in gold, I am not even exaggerating, because before we had these dogs, we had problems all the time, and raising livestock wasn't too pleasant because you always had to worry about the goats or the sheep, whatever we were raising at that time. But now, oh, gotta get this out of here before somebody chokes on it or something. Goats will try to eat this or chew on it, cause problems. So you guys know the goats are due anytime. They're due within, I think, about 10 days or so, and they can't have them early. They can have their babies early, so stay tuned for that. Cora, I think she's gonna do great with the babies. Hopefully she's not too protective of them. I don't think she will be. Livestock, he did good last time, and I'm not gonna talk too much about it because I covered that in my last video you guys seen. But I can tell time's getting closer because these goats are starting to stay to themselves a little bit more. And this one here, she's wider than a bus. She's big. They're all pretty big. Not all of them are showing big signs of being pregnant, but most of them are. A lot of the black ones you can really tell. There's 1063. She's one of my favorite Spanish goats. Yeah. So one thing that I do need to do is I need to fill up the mineral feeders today. I probably won't do that on the video. You guys know how we do that. We just keep loose trace mineral in the barn 24/7 in the mineral feeders. And that helps greatly because in the past, before we knew to do that or practice that, we were having kids born with white muscle syndrome. And it was due to the deficiency in selenium and vitamin B. So we'll come in here, I'll show you guys these mineral feeders. I still got some, but sometimes they back up to it and they like to go to the bathroom in it, and then nobody wants to eat it. So we always try to clean it out. All right, you want some of that? Here. Now I got a crowd with me. We got two different spots. So usually when the goats are coming and going, they'll get a little lick of it and then they'll go out to graze a little more. But then sometimes when other goats go to the bathroom in it, they don't want nothing to do with it, and I don't blame them. Here, you want some of this? Here. But by leaving this loose trace mineral out, it has the copper, it has selenium, it has all the vitamins and minerals that these goats need. There's some that's a little darker, that's some of the older stuff we used to use. But ever since we started leaving this stuff out 24/7, we no longer have to doctor the kids. If you guys have been following us for a couple years, whoa, seen a cable on the ground. That was a snake. I don't know where this come from. Oh, you guys don't need this. If you guys follow this for a couple years now, you can go back to about January or so, probably of 2020 or 2019. We had some kids born and they couldn't hardly stand up on their own, or they couldn't walk, or had some kind of leg problem. They bowed out. That is some of the stuff I'm talking about from being born and the mom having a deficiency in the selenium or the vitamin B or whatever, and we'd have to doctor them. And since we've been leaving that loose trace mineral out, it's worked wonders. It does all the work for us because the goats, the moms, have everything they need in their system. So like I said, we are close to kidding season. We're gonna leave the gate open to this big pasture. There's 12 acres over here. There's 2 over there on the other side where we started the video, where they were all laying. And usually we lock them up because of the predators, but this year we got 2 dogs. We're gonna leave them open because a lot of times these goats want to be by themselves when they have the babies. And things are starting to green up now. The goats, every morning they get up, they leave the barn, they go out and they start grazing. They're starting to eat some of this clover. There's clover coming up. There's all kinds of stuff starting to green up, and the goats absolutely love it. And that'll kind of give them some room to go out and kid, be by themselves, and bond with their babies. Because before, you know, I don't remember how many nannies we got. I think we got 20, 27, 30 nannies. We sold a few. They'd have their babies in the barn or out here, and they were just kind of bunched up. But now that we got the 2 livestock guardian dogs, now we got one to stay with the herd of goats, and then we got one to stay out here. Because here's the deal, a lot of times when these mamas decide to have their babies, it'll be early in the morning, it'll be late at night, it'll be in the middle of a snowstorm or a rainstorm or something like that, and it's not ideal conditions. So having 2 dogs, that'll at least give one the time to be with that mama and protect her while she's having that baby. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Anytime we catch any of these acts on video, it's awesome. And it didn't end weird. Nothing got hurt. It's just dogs doing their job. These are working dogs, and they're good at it. Here you go. Cora, you did good, girl. Come here. What you doing? Come here. Good job. Both of you. Good job. You guys worked as a team. That's the goal. Teamwork makes the dream work. You know it? You know that. Yeah, we say it all the time on this channel, don't we? Yeah, he's my best buddy. He's one of my best buddies. You're a fast dog. You're a good dog. So, see, Cora's went over there and she's laying down in the middle of the goats again. That's what these dogs do. A lot of dogs, if they had free range to 12 acres out here, they'd be running around, playing, doing all their, you know, staying to themselves. These dogs, they're family with the goats, and that's who they are bonded to, and that's who they want to protect. So guys, like I said, any video now, we could be having babies, so we'll be sure to make videos on all that. I know a lot of you watch our channel just because of baby goats. So Leesky, you ready to have some baby goats jumping around on you and running around everywhere? He just made a weird face. I don't know if I'm ready for that or not, Dad. That's Mojo's voice. I need to come up with a voice for you. How do you talk? You got that bacon. You still got pieces of bacon on the side of your mouth. So, of course, anytime I come out here, the goats think I'm going to feed them, and it's not feeding time. This is the morning. It's weekend, so it's supposed to be nice. It's supposed to get up in the 60s today, and it's supposed to be 70s for like the next 3 days. So that would be the perfect kidding temperatures. We kind of held back our breeding season this year so we could have the kids later in the season instead of having them so early in the winter, because past few years we were having them early December, early January, middle of snow and ice, and it's just not fun. It's not good for them. Try to take care of these babies like that. So this year we bred a little later, and other times we've had kids born in the middle of summer, and that can be a problem too, because you got all these flies, you got all these pests and stuff bothering them, you got ticks, all that. And you know, this is about the perfect time of the year for us in our area here in Northeast Oklahoma for these goats to have kids, because we're kind of out of the extreme cold. Now it still can get cold, but the chances are less likely, and we're not quite into the heat yet. So it just takes planning. And like I said, we got a new buck this year, a New Zealand Kiko buck, so we're eager to see what those kids turn out like, and see what they grow up to be like and look like. Pass on those genetics to our herd. The goats are worn out. Are you worn out from chasing that deer or what? They're just laying around. They're just laying around. I don't know what the goats are saying, if we could hear them. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna get off here. Just wanted to share this with you. It's cool to see that guard dogs in action. So leave a comment down below. What do you think? Do you think it's cool that Leeski's doing the job chasing those deer off like that, or do you think that I should tell him not to? You know, I'm not going to tell him not to chase anything off because that's his job, is to protect the goats. But just want to hear what you guys think of it. I think it's really cool to see them in action. Luckily, I was able to record it. So subscribe if you're not subscribed. Leave a comment, like this video, and we'll see you next time. What are you girls out doing?